Hello, everybody. Andrew Taylor here. Today we have two special guests. We have Adam Mastel with us, and we have Dima Yovko. Adam, all I know is you have written a bunch of business. We haven't officially really met yet.
No.
But you were recommended to come in here because you were called the Referral King.
Yeah. It's like it's a pretty big part of my business for sure. Yeah.
So, but to start, can you give us a little bit about your background?
Yeah. So, prior to getting into insurance, I got in, I think 2021. It's been about a year and a half. And prior to that, I played in bands. I was like a touring musician, recording artist, did that whole thing for basically my whole life, ever since like high school. Obviously COVID kind of stopped with all that. And then, yeah, I've been, Dima kind of recruited me, via the internet, and it's been pretty awesome.
How'd you meet on the internet?
Oh man. So we actually were doing something else before this. So Adam had a Discord server for stock and call option trading. And I knew a guy that was in that Discord server as a moderator too. And I was doing a lot of crypto stuff at the time. And so they reached out to me, and I was a moderator for the crypto side of things. And so Adam and I met that way. I mean, we had fun, like
Oh yeah.
we would trade the China trading hour, which is like 1 a.m. West Coast time. So we would be up at night, leverage trading crypto and things like that, and then doing regular stock and call option trading during the day.
Dude, I got destroyed in crypto.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
No, but I got really destroyed.
Really?
And it's all because of Zach Egan. Do you know Zach Egan? He convinced me that, all these different things, how good it was at the time. It's not technically his fault, but I put all my money with Voyager, who filed bankruptcy.
Yeah, I did it with Celsius too, so don't worry.
Bro. And I'm like, I picked them because they were a U.S. publicly traded company. I'm like, oh, dude, this has got to be safe.
Yeah.
Put all my money there. And it was a significant amount, actually.
Brutal.
And they just...
Yep. Probably didn't get anything out of it, huh?
No, I got like 10% back or something.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, but I was doing that before I got into insurance, and then I got into insurance, and I kind of stopped participating as much in that Discord server because I was busy making real money at that point. So Adam was just like talking about how he was gonna go, just get like a regular 9 to 5 because he was, he was making money off the Discord server, but like he was like, I just kind of want something to do. And
I was just burned out. Honestly, It was a lot. It was intense.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. So, and he knew I was doing like this insurance thing, and so when he was like, I'm gonna go get a 9 to 5, and I was just like, why? Like, if you want something to do, get into insurance. So he went ahead and got licensed, and the rest was kind of history after that.
Yeah, it was pretty quick that I kind of got the hang of everything.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, it was a couple months. There were some ups and downs in the beginning, but.
So to go back, what type of what kind of band were you in?
Oh, well, I mean, I would do kind of whatever. I was in like alternative rock groups for the most part, but I did like some cool like fusion jazz type stuff where it was like electronic based,
Any bands we would know?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why is he saying it like that?
Oh, I don't know. I think I think maybe bitter sweet endings.
Something like that.
That's how bands go, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what the psychology behind the band breaking up is.
I don't know.
It's kind of like a girlfriend breakup.
Yeah,
sort of.
Probably, especially if you guys are touring.
Just a little bit more petty.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it usually money that gets in the middle?
No. I mean, that was the thing. Like, for so long, honestly, money wasn't really my priority at all. Like, I just wanted life experience, and I got to basically travel for free and play music every night.
Which you loved.
Yeah. you know? So I was happy, you know, it was great. And, you know, obviously everything good comes to an end, you know? So, you know, over time it kind of got, you know, a
Does
little this.
everything bad comes to an end?
Yes.
That's the other good side about that.
Yes. The yin and yang.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you're in a band, you're doing Discord, you guys are messing with crypto, and then you decided to you're not motivated by money at all, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really not, and that's the thing. Like, even that's why I think so much of my business comes from building really, really good relationships and, you know, referrals, stuff like that. Because I'm not really thinking about the dollar signs or anything like that. You know, I'm just trying to help people. You know, so and my clients know that. You know, that's why they refer me to their friends and their brother and their mother. You know. Um, yeah, and it just makes it easier, you know. They trust me, you know. I'm not trying to push them to, you know, maybe pay a higher premium, right? So I get a little more money in my pocket, you know. I'm just trying to take care of them, you know, and it always ends up working better for me. I mean, I'm always producing very consistently, you know. Not every month am I, you know, at the very top of the leaderboard, but it's always very, very consistent.
Always.
Yeah, and you know, my spending's super low, you know, so
Yeah, he's really good at making sure he has a really good ROI on all the money he spends on
Well, yeah,
leads.
and that comes from trading, you know, because when I got into insurance, I was trading basically full time for a while, and I just viewed everything as an RR, like a risk to reward ratio, right? So like every dollar I stand to risk, I stand to make this much, right? When I got into insurance, it was a pretty darn good RR. You know, the risk to reward ratio is pretty high. You know, for every X dollars I spend, I stand to make this much, and my emotions can't get in the way of that. You know, I can't buy more of this or like take on more risk because I'm just feeling emotional, or like, you know, you'll let it drag down on you and you're in the red and you're like, oh, it'll come back, right? Crypto, you know? So,
bro.
yeah.
It
It'll
was a
come
good
back.
learning lesson for me, though.
Definitely.
Hey, you
'Cause
never lose if you don't sell.
Well, yeah, you do if they go
If
bankrupt.
they go bankrupt, yeah.
You definitely do. But hey, you got to learn somehow.
Definitely.
Okay, so and I actually still like crypto. I'm just like, dude, how did the bankruptcy thing that's just nuts,
Yeah.
you know?
Everyone comes in at the top and
But I actually still love the idea.
yeah, definitely.
You
I mean,
know?
we're still involved in it, but you know, it's what we're doing now is way better.
Oh yeah, for
Well,
sure.
someone was like, someone was in crypto and they're like, well, how do I know insurance is going to be around? And I was like, bro, Mutual of Omaha has been through 2 world wars, the Spanish flu, COVID, and who knows what else, paying claims the entire time.
Exactly.
And they have, you know, reinsurance companies to cover the insurance companies, and they have all kinds of things to make sure that they can pay all the claims if something happened to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Insurance companies are the safest bets.
Yeah. I mean, isn't Warren Buffett like super involved with Mutual of Omaha?
I don't know, but he's involved in insurance companies.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's involved in an insurance company. Okay, so this I love this. So we're going to talk about profitability
Okay.
because that's your thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're saying you don't let your emotions get involved
No.
because
definitely
you're
not.
just looking at it like a stock.
Yeah. You know, you just kind of got to ride the wave, right? I mean, you know, I had, for example, 2 months ago, I had 2 weeks where I didn't make any sales, and I was going very hard. You know, I was pushing, and you know, it's just like a wave, you know, sometimes it's down, sometimes it's up, right? I had 2 weeks that, you know, I couldn't close anything. Next month, second best month ever.
Okay, during that time, how were you talking to yourself?
Just, you know, I mean, when you're like a beginner, right? When you're new in insurance or sales or anything, it's hard to not get emotional, right? But at this point where I'm at, you know, I knew it was just, okay, well, every no is closer to a yes, right? You know, so I had 2 weeks and I was like, man, next month, the probability of next month being a banger is pretty high,
Yeah,
you know? And
exactly.
sure enough,
Yeah.
it was, you know, second best month ever, 39 families, you know, pretty good.
And, you know, when he first started, and I hope you don't mind me telling this story, but, there was
Go ahead.
there was, a time frame where he was trying to get going. He was doing the dials. He was feeling discouraged, and he was buying leads. And, he came to me and was like, I shouldn't have to risk myself financially for a job. And I go,
Ooh.
and I was
So you were not being positive.
Not at first. I was getting way in my emotions, but I was coming from, you know, I was already that's what I was trying to get away from, right? And it's just like it's like assessed risk, right? If you don't know what your risk is, or if you can get in the way of having, a tolerable risk, right? Then you're going to do something stupid.
Okay, so what'd you say when he said that?
I was blunt and brutally honest. So what I told him is I said, look, if you want a job, go work for a captive company on a salary and just cap out at that. If you want to roll with the big dogs, you want to make the money and have the career that you really can have, you're going to have to risk yourself. And that risk will pay off as long as you do all the right things. And
Maybe. I mean, you can say that, but I've seen people, they say they do all the right things. I've seen them not make it.
Well, that's why you have leaders that have done it themselves, and you push that forward and train those people to follow in your footsteps.
Definitely.
Okay.
Just like I followed Erica Walker, just like Erica Walker followed Nina.
Okay. So I want to go back. Okay. You're spending money. You're not making money. What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? Like, what are you thinking about?
Well, as a brand new agent, it's really hard not to get emotional.
So what were you thinking?
I was thinking like, man, is this legit? I don't know. All these people, blah, 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 are flexing. There's no way that, you can be this successful here. I mean, I'm not right now. You know what I mean?
Or does this work?
Yeah. Does this really work?
Was this replaying in your head all day long as you were working?
Yeah.
All day long.
Oh yeah. I'm sitting there, dialing, old leads, just pounding the phones like hours and hours a day, and wasn't getting a lot of pickups, wasn't, really setting appointments, closing anything. And yeah, I just kind of realized that I needed to kind of just accept the fact that it's like, okay, you know what? It is just like a wave, it's like trading, that's just kind of how I view any kind of business,
And then did it take a sale to get you out of that thought process?
Oh yeah. Yeah. As soon as I made the first sale, I was like, oh yeah, totally worth it. Sure. It's like way better than I would make at any other job.
It was funny though, because it was, he was like, I've made this many dials, and I go, just do a few more and you'll get a sale. And then sure enough, it was like 10 more calls.
Dude, but it's kind of like you feel like you're bipolar.
Always.
When you're new.
Oh yeah.
No, or is it always?
I mean, I wouldn't say
No,
always.
It's not. Like it goes away.
Yeah,
because you know what to expect.
Right. It's about keeping your head above water and understanding that you have the ebbs and flows.
But in the beginning, he went from feeling terrible, looping in his head all these things, conspiracies, like maybe the whole thing was made up. All these people, you were thinking all these people online?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, look at these people. Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm really thankful that I had like a leader like you and like Erica who were, not only good at what you do, right? But like just genuinely good people. And it's like, you're not lying. And I already knew you. You know what I mean? Like, you're not lying.
Still
to
thought
me.
he was planted as a.
No, it's hard not to doubt yourself. You know what I mean? I was just like, there's no way, just push a little more, try a little harder, stick with it. What are you going to do? Quit when you're down? No,
And then you kept going.
Yeah.
Now, have you got back in that thought process? Like,
no, not once. No.
No.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I went 2 weeks swinging hard, lots of presentations.
What the heck happened?
I don't know. It was just a down swing. It just kind of happens to everyone.
Do you think it was you?
I did everything I should have done. I went back, I met with you, I met with Erica, I met with Nina, and was just like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't think I'm doing anything different. Went over my script. I was like, maybe the leads aren't working right now. Who knows, right? But it, sure enough, I made up for it the
Yeah,
next
definitely.
month.
Definitely.
Bro, that's insane. But
Yeah.
the reason I'm asking is because I've gone through a lot of very negative times where I'm just looping the same negative experience in my head until I break that cycle. Like it's like every 3 or 4 weeks of my whole career, I would doubt what I was doing, and especially in the beginning. But even when I was like 5, 6 years in, I would somehow be like, this doesn't work anymore. The leads changed. Like these leads don't work anymore. This is 5 years in. And then you know what it would take? Seeing someone else make a sale to be like, wait a second, it does work. And it would, so someone sharing their success would keep me going.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I think everyone has those types of
Days.
days and thoughts that go through their minds. You know, like I've definitely had them, you know, but I always tell myself, I was like, just wait it out. You know, it'll pass quickly. You know, it seems daunting. It might seem like, hey, I can't last another week. And it's usually just like a day or two. And
Dude,
it's
that's
back
the
to
best
normal.
advice ever, what you just said right now. Just wait it out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Definitely. Cause it's all, you know, this business works, you know, and we just keep saying ebbs and flows, you know, but it's true. You know, it's just keep doing. Just because it's not working today or tomorrow doesn't mean it won't work the day after.
Yeah. Like maybe like day to day, hour to hour, not consistent, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Week
yeah.
to week, sometimes not consistent.
Month
Month
to
to month,
month.
yeah. But month to
Consistent.
month, like
Always.
you're gonna see growth
Yeah.
for sure. Like I've never seen, I've never had a bad month, right? I've had one month that maybe wasn't as good as the rest, but like I've never had a bad month. Every no is closer to a yes. I mean, really, it's just
You've
it's
never not been able to pay your bills. You know,
Yeah.
you've always been able to pay the bills.
Yeah, it's all just probability. It's every no is closer to yes, genuinely.
Yeah, that's huge. Okay, so a lot of people are lead junk. I always used to say I'm a lead junkie, like I'm an addict. Like I have to get leads. I'm addicted to getting leads. And then I wouldn't get the most out of the referral game because I'd just be addicted to more leads. Now, what you're doing is smarter than what I ever did because you're using leads to get referrals. So one sale could turn into 10
Mm-hmm.
and one lead could turn into 10. But I would say 99% of people are not doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just. Sorry, hang on. I'm having a brain fart.
No, so how are you doing it? How are you getting the referrals?
It's pretty simple. I genuinely treat my clients really well. Like I care about them. I don't go into it as like a sales pitch. Like I really just trying to find like, okay, what do you need? Like what do you really need? Is it, oh, I'm scared if I pass away, my mortgage is not going to get paid. Like my wife can't pay the mortgage, right? She's going to lose the house, right? Is that your pain point? Okay, let's take care of that, right? You're not buying insurance. You're buying peace of mind, right? You're trying to make sure that, hey, if something happens to me, right, so and so's care, my kids, my wife, grandkids, whoever, right? And that can come in a lot of ways. It can come in, hard cash for some people. It can come in an asset. It can come on setting, your kids up on something that's going to make sure they're never going to have to worry about what you're worrying about right now.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Are
you doing referrals too now?
I needed to be doing. I'm kind of a lead junkie too. I just buy more. It's just easy. It's so easy to buy just more and more leads. But Adam just genuinely does a good job of finding out what people need. I mean, recently we were running mortgage leads, and he had this guy on the phone, and this guy was telling him he just didn't want it, didn't need it. And Adam was at first was showing him like a cashback option, regular term option. The guy's like younger, and he's like, I don't need this. And Adam just kept pushing. And at one point I was like, Adam, just hang up the phone. And this guy wouldn't hang up the phone. And I was just like, he's not hanging up. And Adam switched and pivoted over to like tax-free retirement.
Yeah.
And little by little, this guy dropped his guard and Adam closed him.
Yeah. I think I straight up said to him, I was like, hey, and I was like, you can hang up.
Yeah.
I was like, you can hang up. Like, you can click that button, but like, obviously, you want to talk to me. Maybe you're just bored, right? I don't know, but like I'm not hanging up on you.
Yeah.
I know I can do something. I know I can help you. So,
And he got the job done.
yep.
That's huge, man. But what do you say at the end of the call to get the referral?
Um, let's see. I mean, it really just depends. It's really not at the end of the call. It's really the whole time. Like I'm setting the stage the whole time for like, yeah, your kids should have this because it's a lot cheaper if you get it set up when you're young, Or like, oh yeah, like there's all sorts of. I'm kind of setting the
Trial
stage.
closes.
Yeah, I'm really like setting the stage the whole time for the fact that like this is something everyone should have, and like you don't want them to have to worry about it.
All right, let's talk about trial closes. Okay. Do you, well, this is what I always did. A trial close is a close before the close. And there can be 7, 8, 9, 10 of these trial closes, which is what you're doing. You're closing them on getting referrals throughout the entire presentation. But if you're actually selling them a policy, a trial close would be um it would be like, hey, Mr. Smith, today what we're going to do is we're going to see what you like, what's affordable for you, what fits your needs and budget, and then we're going to see if you can qualify and get your family protected. Does that sound fair enough? He says, yes, that's a trial close. I'm getting him to say yes on things. Hey, Mr. Smith, I'm going to go through all the different pricing, and this can be another phrase that I'm using, all different pricing that's going to fit your needs and budget. We're going to check multiple carriers. Then we have to see if you qualify. But then when you go to bed at night, you won't have to worry if you don't wake up for some crazy reason that your wife gets to keep the house. How does that sound? Great. Trial close. So the more trial closes you can throw in, and dude, there's masters. You could throw in a million different trial closes in one presentation. And when you do that, you're eliminating objections before they come up. But I never thought of trial closing on referrals the whole time. Like your kids should probably do this because it'd be real cheap. They wouldn't pay that amount. So like if they were to do it now, they would never have to deal with what you're dealing with right now. It'd be much, much cheaper. Trial close. That's good.
Yeah.
That's legit. One thing you're doing too is most people make the mistake of telling people what life insurance is when they're pitching and not what it does.
Exactly.
So if I'm going to pitch you, I go, hey, for $20, you can get $50,000 in coverage. Or I can say, hey, Mr. Smith, for $20, this will cover the amount of your mortgage so that if for some reason you got in a car crash, you didn't make it home, God forbid that happen, your kids, your wife, they always have a place to stay. Like there's a massive difference there.
You got to pitch the value versus the actual product.
Well, yeah, that's like what I was saying is like you're not selling insurance, you're selling peace of mind, right? So like if you're talking to these people and you figure out what they need, right? You're not selling them, "Oh, yeah, like this is going to, this $50,000 can go towards your mortgage or whatever," right? It's not really about that. It's like what is it going to do, right? Is this going to make sure your wife keeps the home, right? Do you want to make sure your grandkids retire or your grandkids' college is paid for or whatever, right? That's really what you're doing, is just selling the value. And that way you're not selling them anything. They're kind of just telling you what you want, what they want. Sorry. They're just kind of telling you what they want and you're giving them that. I very rarely get objections on price or anything like that because I do a good job of figuring out what they can actually do, what makes sense financially for them because obviously, if it doesn't fit their budget, maybe they get scared and they're just gonna be like, click, but really you just got to find out what they can do, what they want, and then just give them what they want, right? Maybe, a lot of the time, let's say, you had a budget, right? I'd give you one option that's like, this is a no-brainer. You can definitely do this. I'd give you another that would, make sense. This is, you could probably do that. And then one this is a little more of a commitment. But if I did a good job of explaining the value in all this, you'll probably want that.
For sure. And the other I always like to mix in these little things in trial closes too. Like, I'd be like, Mr. Smith, the price of cable, like, this is what I would do. I'd be like, all right, Mr. Smith, especially if the wife is there. It's really awesome to see someone who cares about their family because I meet with people all the time. They won't even give up the cable they have to get this in place, even though it's the same cost. But if something happens, their family's not taken care of. So it's cool to see you being so. I would always say, dude, by the time I'm leaving, if I do my job right, that dude's going to have a great night with his wife because I'm going to make him look so good.
he's gonna be a rock star.
Yeah, exactly. But all this is all part of the sale,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
100%.
And you should praise them for that, dude. Like it is
It's an
a
important decision.
selfless thing
Yeah.
to do that you're not around to see.
Yeah, 100%. It's a product that they're not gonna most of the time not gonna get to like experience the fruit of their loins. It's something that they're doing for the future,
Yeah, for their kids
and they're
for their wife.
and it's the only insurance that's like you're required to have auto insurance. You're required to have property and casualty.
You ain't required to have this.
You're not required, but if you care about your family,
It's weird that you're not required though.
it is a little weird.
Because
Yeah.
like people leave dead and all kinds of
yeah.
stuff and messes behind. It's like,
I mean, just even the basic, funeral and final expenses. Like I can't believe you don't have that taken care of at this point. Like
Yeah.
you're in your late 60s or 70s and you haven't had this done yet. Like, what are you doing? Like, what have you been spending your income on?
what if someone says it's too expensive now, and because I'm 75?
Well, haven't been making premium payments previous to that, and I'll kind of make a point of it. Be like, hey, we are playing a little catch up here.
That's a trial close.
Yeah.
So you're closing them before you show them the high rates. You're going, Mr. Smith, you dodged. You're still alive, but you dodged making payments your entire life.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
congratulations.
Yeah. And if someone ever at that age, sure, premiums can be higher. If they tell me like, hey, well, I'll have this paid off in 10 years, I could just save this money. I'll just tell them like, look, you've always had that option and you've never taken it. Because they just haven't. They haven't put any money in savings. I asked them, are they spenders or savers? And they're like, oh, I'm kind of a spender. Like, hey, do you have like money market accounts, 401k, retirement? No. It's like, okay, so what are we doing here? You're like, what's the final goal? Obviously, we're going to take care of your family, make sure that those expenses are all taken care of.
That's huge. That's cool. All right. So you do the trial close in the beginning. You're dropping little seeds the whole time to get a referral. And then how do you actually get the referral?
Well, let's see. I mean, I would say to get that referral, I'm talking about them the whole time, right? Whether typically it's like their beneficiary, right? It's like their kids or their wife or something, it's, how do I get that referral? I just ask them, genuinely, I'm like, hey, I'm going to reach out to them to get them, your policy documents, make sure they have all this because insurance companies, they make all this money off unclaimed money every year. And I would hate for that to be you, right? Because I care about you so much, right? So I'll be like, hey, I'm going to reach out to your wife. I'm going to give her all the policy information if that's okay with you. And I'm also want to talk with her and, see if we can get her on something similar because you understand how important this is, right? God forbid something happens to her, yeah, maybe you're the breadwinner, right? But it's still going to be hard, right? There's still a drop in income. We want to make sure that you guys are all covered, right?
That's good.
And when they have kids, it's like, let's say they're in their 60s. I mean, their kids probably don't have anything. Prime time, you can get, good cashback options, tax-free retirement. So there's a lot of room for get people, sometimes finding those younger crowds, can be a little bit more challenging. So it's a great way to kind of get those types of leads is just from the referrals alone.
Dude, the other thing is like now the cost, because what's the average premium you think?
It depends on the type of
Yeah.
product. I mean, final expense, I'd say
80 to 120 bucks.
yeah.
80 to 120 bucks. Okay, so this is crazy. But have you noticed the cost of stuff is going up like crazy?
Exactly.
So like me, Nicole, and my two kids, which is 1 and 3 years old, we went to Panera Bread. They got some mac and cheese that's boiling in a pot all day, and we like each got like a salad or something and drinks. Dude, guess how much it was?
$200.
No,
No, we're talking like 30.
$75.
Oh, geez.
Dude, we went to Chipotle for 4 of us. They share a kid's quesadilla, and like Nicole got like some guacamole and
Oh,
The
like-
extra guac.
the extra guac, and
Yeah.
like
yeah.
I got like double protein, bro. $70.
That's insane.
So if you think about what people are spending money on, it's like it ain't that much money. To-
It really isn't. Yeah, food alone.
Well,
is-
that's the thing is like building the value, right? Because everyone spends money every day. You know what I mean? And if, let's say you're trying to, get someone to buy this insurance, right? Maybe they don't want to spend $50 a month, right? But if you sell the value, right, everything it's going to do, they're not spending $50 a month. I mean, how many, I'll spend $50 a month on the dumbest things. You know what I mean? I'll be on
Yeah.
Amazon and be like, oh, I could use that, you know?
in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sitting in bed, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't even remember I did it when I woke up, right? That happens all the time. But if you sell them the value, it's like, hey, they're not spending money. They see the value in this. It's like an investment, or it's like, it's important to them.
Yeah. I'm looking up on my phone right now. Somebody was telling me the Rockefellers got life insurance policies, I think IULs on their entire family, every family member, and they used it just to keep their generational wealth going.
Yep. I mean, banks do it too. They get IULs or, cash value life insurance policies on all their executives at the bank. That's why you see every bank branch have like 6 vice presidents when
Yeah.
they don't really need them.
Oh, listen to this. Oh, I can't find it exactly. But if you share that with people, you go find this story and go, hey, let's get IULs on your kids and help them so they don't have to worry later, down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's different ways to leave a legacy. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe someone can't qualify for something for themselves, right? But they have a goal, right? They want their family to be taken care of financially, whatever that looks like, right? They're going to instead, hey, maybe they can't get anything, right? Maybe they don't want to spend this for that, but instead they can get their 2 grandkids set up on IULs. That way,
So
when they're
good.
65, they've got a tax-free retirement set up, and they are never going to have to worry about it.
That's so good.
Yeah. I mean,
So go ahead.
okay, I was just gonna say, like, my wife's dad got her a children's whole life policy right when she was born, and when we bought a house, we were able to borrow against that death benefit for our down payment. Like, that man was thinking years into the future and was able to provide value.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, and I talked about this the other day, but Children's Whole Life with Mutual of Omaha, it's like starts at like $3.
Yeah.
You can get like a $50,000 policy, I think, for like $15 a month or something
Yeah.
as a
Mhm.
kid. But you can raise it 2 times in your life with no medical underwriting. So you
I did
can
not
have,
know that. That's
you can
awesome.
have any medical condition. You can double that. I think it's at age 30, and then I think at age 40 you can double it again with no underwriting.
That's so cool.
And people don't realize the like if you're healthy, get life insurance, because the second you have something come up, you can't get life insurance.
And then you're gonna want it.
And then you're
Yeah.
going to want it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So,
exactly
dude,
how
if
it
you're
goes.
healthy, get the insurance.
Yeah.
Because it takes one appointment, one weird blood work, one funky thing to go, oh, I don't know if I could get life insurance anymore.
Yep. Yeah. I just talked to, like, he was a software engineer for some tech company. He's 42 years old. He's like, yeah, I don't have any health issues at all, so I really don't need this. And I was like, perfect.
That's why you need
I
it.
go,
Yeah.
perfect. And so, especially mixing that in some tax-free retirement over his traditional 401k, easy close.
That's huge. So you guys are using the tax-free retirement. Can you guys talk about that a little bit? You guys using National Life Group?
We'll use Moo, National Life Group. F&G is good too.
Ethos is new. All right,
Ethos,
check this
yeah.
out. I gotta say this. Ethos is new IUL. I think it's $25K to $2 million. Can be issued right on the spot. IUL with a
Simplified
really
issue.
cool, easy solve calculator, similar to Mutual of Omaha's.
Awesome.
But dude, the kicker's this, and people don't know this. Guess who the only IMO that has that product is?
This one,
So what do you think that should be used for?
tax-free retirement,
And what else?
generational wealth.
Recruiting.
Oh, well,
Bro, no one
obviously.
else except us have the product.
That is true.
Nobody.
Yeah. Simplified issue on the spot up to $2 million. That's awesome.
Up to $2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's crazy.
I've sat through weeks and weeks and weeks waiting for underwriting to go through with some of the other carriers. So that's massive.
Well, I'm sure that underwriting can happen. I think they have a percentage of like whatever, 90% goes straight through. Some of them are gonna, if the person's taken something that needs to be explained, obviously
Sure.
they're gonna check it.
Yeah, but like when a 25-year-old you're waiting, a month and a half to get the policy actually enforced. I mean, they stop thinking of,
It loses value.
it loses value. It definitely does. And I've tried to follow up with people that maybe I didn't get in touch with quick enough, and like maybe a month and a half later, the policy's gonna go enforced. I call them like, oh wow, I forgot all about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it's like 6 weeks. I mean, that is a long, long time. So if we can get something to go enforce same day, that's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, I'm always thinking about recruiting. So like no one else in the industry can have this product but us.
That's
now.
awesome.
So
honestly, I nenever even thought of it from that angle. So that's awesome.
So why wouldn't we use it to go give it to agents?
We should be using it to go give to agents.
Well, we're going to.
Yeah.
I think it's been out for 2 days.
Yeah.
But it's legit.
Yeah. You got insulin as far as the diabetes, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't know. I don't have all the underwriting in front of me, but it's an agent-facing application. So you have to do the application like a traditional one.
Okay.
Their term product, you can send a link and the customer can do it themselves.
Yeah.
This one, you have to do it because there's an illustration involved. You got to make sure everything's
I
legit.
actually like
agent-facing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like agent-facing ones because then I'm providing a service.
Yeah.
And then they're not just gonna like stop it at page 6 and then not come back to it.
Yeah. That's huge. That's cool though. Okay, so at the end, you end up getting the referrals. Is there a specific line? Do you say like, "Can I have this person's phone number?"
Yeah, I'd say like, hey, so congrats, you're approved, right? Let's say they get approved, right? Congratulations, you're approved. Now, first I want you to write this policy number down, blah, 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 right? Write it down. Okay, great. Now, I don't want you, or sorry, I'm going to restart. So what I'll say a lot of the time is, I'll close them, right? Hey, write down your policy number. Great. Now, remember how, I was saying this is going to be great for you. This is for your family. The last thing I want is for your family not to not know that you have this, right? Insurance companies, they make a ton of money every year off people not claiming money because so-and-so didn't know their dad had a life insurance policy, right? And you just didn't pick up the phone or check your email or check your mail and you had no idea. Right? So what I'm going to do is I want to reach out to them because I don't want that to ever happen to any of my clients. Okay. Also, when I do that, I'm just going to make sure, hey, maybe I can help them with something, who knows, right? But let's at least see what we can do because obviously you want the best for your family. Let's make sure that they get taken care of too.
Okay. So for anybody who's watching this and you're not paying attention because let's say you have ADD like me, and you start thinking about something else. So you're watching something, but your mind wanders. I'm trying to get your attention right now so you can listen to this because this is really good. This is what I used to call the emergency response system. When I looked this up 5 years ago, I think there was like 2.1 billion of unclaimed life insurance. So when I'm meeting with a customer and I'm selling a policy, make it a mandatory thing for you to share with them that there's 2.1 billion of unclaimed life insurance, and I'm going to set up your emergency response network with you by letting your friends and family know about your policy and what you're doing for them. So I'm going to need a list of their names and phone numbers. I need 6 people, and I start there by getting their information. Now, I would get addicted to leads and forget to do this. So you figured it out. If you're watching this, don't do what I did, because you're going to leave a lot of money on the table. But what you're doing is the same thing I did with the emergency response network, basically saying, let's get their names. Now, when I would call them, I would say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm calling you not to help you with life insurance, even though I do that. I'm calling you not to help you with annuities or retirement, even though I do that. But I'm calling you because you're on your brother's emergency response system network, and I want to let you know how to help if something happens to him to help his family. And then, by the way, do you have your network set up to where if something happens to you that everybody's going to know about your policies and all the things that you have? And when they say no, because no one has it, I go, okay, cool, get your policies, and next week I'll go over that with you and set yours up for you for free. And then they got their policies, you do financial inventory, and then bam, you got a new customer.
Mhm.
That's awesome. And it's,
But
I mean,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna steal some of that from you, by
I
the
mean, the
way.
emergency response system, I mean, that's not just a referral thing. Cause I know I've had a client, someone's grandmother, and she was letting her policy lapse. Called her, I was like, hey, we need to get a payment in. Didn't hear back. And
Sorry, we got to go to lunch. I'm getting
okay.
text because I'm late for a bunch
Okay.
of meetings and my whole day's gonna be messed up. Real quick, can you give your phone number if anybody wants to work with you?
Yeah, you can reach me directly at 561-779-0044. Yeah, shoot me a call, text, anything you need.
So if you're not licensed, you're licensed, you have a trading background, a crypto background, whatever it is, call these dudes and you can work on their team with them and be in a very solid industry, which is fun with good people, and you can also help people. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for coming
Let's
in.
go.
And we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.